What's up, guys? Cookout 123 here, coming at you with the worst video on earth.
You see it's growing.
In case you guys didn't know, I'm part of a promotion known as Thriller Thursday. And not to brag, but I'm high-key the LeBron of this, John, because I am currently undefeated with a record of 7-0. So enough tooting my own horn, because I actually have something to say. Now, I do like this promotion, but there is something missing. A pound-for-pound list of the fighters. I know it can be fun to just have anyone fight anyone, but we are professionals here. There needs to be some order. In this video, I'm going to be ranking these fighters based on their record, who they fought, a little bit of their fighting style, and their general performance and presence within Thriller Thursday as a promotion. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start off the pound for pound list with the guy in the top left corner, Ark. Now let's get one thing out of the way. Being at the bottom of the pound for pound list doesn't mean you're a bad fighter necessarily. You can be a good fighter and still do poorly in a VR boxing game with notoriously unrealistic physics. But that's the reason why someone like Ark is near the bottom, simply because he's not super active and has not fought a ton of people. Ark is a very technically sound fighter with fast strikes, good shot placement, and a dangerous left hook. However, as of the making of this video, he is still recovering from a real-world injury, so a lot of his performances have not been as great as they could have been. He has wins over FD Fall and Nemo, who isn't on the pound-for-pound list, and has lost to Fall again and Katai. This gives him a record of 2-2, so a 50% win rate inside Thriller Thursday. It's important to note that if and when Ark heals, and he begins to fight a little more often, he will have no trouble moving higher up the pound-for-pound list. Next up, we have a guy who sounds like he voice acts for Zenless Zone Zero, FD Fall. I think the only reason Fall is above Ark is because he has a win over him. Fall doesn't fight a whole lot, which is okay because he's usually the commentator. In fact, him fighting Ark in Thriller Thursday is basically the equivalent of Joe Rogan fighting Dana White in the UFC.
I got a collection of these fighting nerds glasses now, John Silva.
The only fights that I know that he has participated in are his 2 fights against Ark. One he's won, and the other he lost. This gives him a record of 1-1 in Thriller Thursday. As for his fighting style, it's pretty similar to Ark's. Fast hands with good shot placement, but Fall seems to be more inclined to swing wildly than Ark, likely due to his, as of now, better mobility. He is slightly above Ark, but he's still near the bottom of the pound for pound list. Next up, we have a fighter who also weathered the Ark litmus test, and passed it fairly well. We have Katai. Katai is one of the more controversial boxers in Thriller Thursday history due to his loud mouth and cocky attitude. He is also known for having a rivalry with Cookout, who he's fought 3 separate times. Katai is a very good outboxer with a tall, lanky frame, perfect for long-range fighting. He also has a very slick 1-2 combo, which he used to drop Cookout in their first fight, and used it to drop Ark in devastating fashion. Katai certainly has the tools to be a dangerous fight for anyone in Thriller Thursday, but he has a few issues with his game. Katai's primary weakness is his weakness to pressure. He often finds himself getting pushed back by more aggressive fighters. This wasn't too much of a problem in his fight with Ark, but it became an issue when he faced the more defensively sound Cookout, who shut down Katai by keeping him on the back foot and ducking under his jab to land flurries of punches. Which brings me to my next point. Katai has lost all 3 of his fights with Cookout, and he has been finished in 2 of them. His best performance in this trilogy was Fight 2, but even then Cookout pushed the pace and Katai was struggling to keep up. His win over Ark combined with the losses to Cookout give him a Thriller Thursday record of 1-3. Not very good, but given that he's the first person to definitively beat Ark, and all of his losses are to a very proven fighter, I'd place him above Ark and FD Fall. These first 3 fighters are in the spots 8 to 6 respectively on the pound for pound list. The next fighters that we have are either really good, have fought a lot, or have fought really good people. So let's continue. Next up, we have the cosmic cooked bread himself, Universal Toast. Toast is the closest thing we have to Michael Chandler in Thriller Thursday. He fights the top guys and looks good but falls short in the end. Not that he's bad, it's just that the caliber of fighters he's up against are really good. Toast is a brawler, through and through, attacking his opponent with looping punches and never taking a step back. While this can be effective against certain opponents, it can be exploited by others, whether by simply having longer reach, like Cookout, or with good counterpunching, like Cookout. He has a win over Joel, a fight which he won pretty comfortably, and a loss to Cookout, although you can argue he won round 3 in their fight. These 2 fights give him a record of 1-1 in Thriller Thursday. While he doesn't have the best record, he more than makes up for it with his entertainment value. Toast is ready to swing on pretty much anybody, and that is respectable. As for his ranking on the pound-for-pound list, he is ranked number 5. Next up, we have a fighter with one of the most fitting names I've ever seen, Rhino. Rhino is a volatile concoction of volume and power, laced with the unbridled determination to pound your face in until it looks like a swollen pancake. Rhino is another brawler, like Toast, with good power, vicious hooks, and an affinity for headhunting. What makes him different, however, is his tendency to keep a higher guard and his immense forward pressure. He demonstrated this in his fight with Brainiac, who he basically chased around the ring. While he's certainly dangerous, the main drawback to his style is the fact that he often waltzes straight into firefights, which can be his undoing if he fights an opponent with good shot placement, like Brainiac for example. Which brings me to his record. He has lost to Nemo, another fighter who isn't exactly that good, but bounced back and beat him. He also has a win over the Smiley One. His most notable fight was his slugfest with Brainiac, which he gave his all in, but it just wasn't enough. This leaves him with a Thriller Thursday record of 2-2. While he shares the same win percentage as Toast, their style should also be taken into account. Toast was getting caught by open rights from a comparatively slower Cookout. Rhino got caught by a lucky shot from a Can, who he beat later on, and then only got dropped once by one of the cleanest punchers in the promotion. When it comes to defense, Rhino is just harder to hit cleanly than Toast, which makes him slightly better. With that, his placement on the pound-for-pound list is number 4. Moving on, we have the Lord of Fight IQ, Brainiac. Brainiac is one of the standout fighters in Thriller Thursday. He is a combination of skill, in-ring antics, and credentials. Needless to say, he is definitely a veteran of Thriller Thursday. This brings me to his fighting style. Brainiac might be the best pure boxer in the entire promotion. He is a lethal infighter with a stiff jab and a crushing right hand, paired nicely with a hard-to-breach guard. He gives nearly everyone in the promotion a hard fight. He demonstrated this in his 2 best performances against Rhino and Cookout. Rhino put it on him as usual, but Brainiac weathered the storm and used his jab and right hook to great effect, even dropping Rhino once in round 2. As for Cookout, he gave him arguably the hardest fight of his career, dropping him in round 1 and had him shelling for cover in other parts of the match. Adding on to this, he gave Stain a rough fight as well, chasing him down and landing big shots at moments. However, even a dangerous puncher like Brainiac can be beaten. Brainiac has struggled with more evasive fighters in the past. While he gave Cookout a good fight, he wasn't able to get the win, as Cookout was able to pressure his way to a razor-thin decision by keeping his head off the center line and throwing a lot of punches towards the body. However, the only one who has really stopped Brainiac in his tracks was Stain, who danced around the ring, peppering up the slower and less rangy Brainiac and even landing a good right that knocked him down. This win over Rhino and losses to Cookout and Stain give him a record of 1-2. Before you say something, let's analyze this record. Every single one of his opponents were top 5 pound-for-pound fighters. He has a win over one, a close loss to another, and only one of them has really schooled him. I'd say that's pretty good, and Brainiac is deserving of the number 3 spot on the pound-for-pound list. Next up, we have a fighter you've been expecting, Cookout. With 6 fights in Thriller Thursday and 4 fights in other promotions, Cookout has been around the block, and has the skills to show it. Cookout does appear to be more reserved in competition, but if you've seen him play ranked or even casual play, you'll know that's a lie. Cookout is a good boxer puncher, with a flicking jab, good pressure, and one of the deadliest right hands in the promotion. His most effective use of this was shown in his final bout with Katai, where Cookout's right landed over and over and over again, earning him a round 3 TKO victory. He can also be hard to hit cleanly, as he keeps his head at a swivel and constantly changes levels. As for who he's fought, he has a laundry list worth of names: Toast, Brainiac, Katai, and Army Boy. He beat Toast comfortably, went to war with Brainiac, fought Katai 3 times, knocking him out twice, and one of them being in round 1, and knocked out Army Boy. He definitely has an active career. That being said, Cookout's career still has some bumps. He is 1-3 in other miscellaneous promotions, either being outdamaged by a harder puncher or being outclassed entirely. He's been put down to the canvas before by Katai and Brainiac. Cookout's hard to hit, but he can be caught, either when resetting from a combo or on his way into the pocket. While Cookout was able to rally back and win those fights, it's still a point of concern. Anyone who can shut down his body work and catch him before or after his combos can win the fight. Even then, though, his record stands at an impressive 6-0. However, his run in other promotions keep him from capturing the number 1 spot. So, he remains at number 2 in the pound for pound list. And finally, at number 1, we have the best pound for pound fighter in the promotion's history, Stain. Stain's case is almost the inverse of Cookout's, being only 1-1 inside of Thriller Thursday. However, he has a much more extensive history outside of the promotion as well. So, I had to do a little research, read channel stalking, to make his entry. Stain is far and away the best outboxer in Thriller Thursday history. The way he dances around his opponents, showboating, peppering them up with punches, you'd think he's Muhammad Ali with a mullet. He's constantly moving, hitting his opponents with straights before diving in with a devastating blitz. Because of this, Stain is extremely hard to hit, and even harder to knock down. He's so evasive, in fact, that it can basically shut down his opponent's offense, leaving them sitting ducks for his attacks. Before I talk about his Thriller Thursday record, let's talk about his miscellaneous record. He has wins over 2 people in events live streamed by the channel WeGameAllNights, so credit to him and Stain's channel, I'll be linking them in the description. He beat both of these people by decision. Then, he fought Avoid, who was 4-1 in the promotion at the time, and won by decision. He has another fight recorded, but I don't know if that was a sanctioned bout, so I'm going to be placing his record outside of Thriller Thursday at a comfortable 3-0. As for his record in Thriller Thursday, he fought the always dangerous Brainiac and completely shut down his offense, even dropping him once. This fight is what separates Cookout from Stain. Cookout had to go through fire and flames to beat Brainiac, while Stain beat Brainiac pretty comfortably. I know styles make fights, but Stain's performance over Brainiac is superior to Cookout's in every way. Stain's only known loss is to Go-hun, who lured him into a tit-for-tat style fight that allowed him to edge a decision win over Stain. The reason why Go-hun isn't higher because of this is the only fight I know of that he participated in. And I don't think I can judge a fighter based off of one fight, even if that fight is a win over a legitimately good opponent. So, a Thriller Thursday record of 1-1, plus a miscellaneous record of 3-0, Stain's known combined record is 4-1, which is pretty solid among Thrill the Fight 2 fighters. For comparison, Cookout's combined record is 7-3. Having a more successful career outside of Thriller Thursday, a harder to beat style, and a dominant win over a mutual fighter means Stain beats Cookout when it comes to pound for pound greatness, earning him the number 1 spot on the pound for pound rankings. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This list was both easy and hard to make. I kind of had an idea of where everyone was listed and if they were even on the list or not, but I had to do a lot of research, get a lot of footage, and become very educated on this subject. I do feel kind of weird putting myself at number 2. I don't really know if I'm that good, but oh well, my record speaks for itself. And funnily enough, just last Thursday, we had a new prospect fight in Thriller Thursday, and I might need to make an entire video on him, and this list might even be outdated already, but oh well. Just subscribe to me and leave a like or comment. Subscribe to the VR Review. They're the guys that run this promotion, and I'll put their channel in the description of this video. If you want to join this promotion, I can drop my Discord in the description too, and we can have a little chit-chat about it. If you do join, all I ask is be respectful and be kind to the people there. All of them work very hard. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.